Hi, I'm Dave Klein, and this is the Cymulate Cybersecurity Newscast. First news story of the week, the press has uncovered a very curious series of blog posts called How I Hacked My Car, where the blogger named Green Luigi 1 discussed getting a Hyundai and wanting to hack the electronic infotainment system and the way they went about it. A very interesting series of blog posts, and I'll put a link to it in the notes section of the video. But what is kind of really interesting is in the beginning, there were some things that I would consider normal type of jailbreak behavior, but then there was a surprise. The files used to update the firmware of a Hyundai are encrypted with an AES symmetric 128-bit key. And what Green Luigi 1 did was simply put the key into a Google search and found out that Hyundai, instead of generating their own AES symmetric key, simply went to the first NIST guidelines on AES, took the first example and used it. So therefore, Green Luigi 1 was able to get into the files and unencrypt them. The second thing that he or she found was that in order to actually push the update, you needed a public and private RSA key. Having the public key, they went to Google again and it found this highly recommended article on how to deal with RSA and key pairs. And of course, having the public key and a private key as the first example utilized. Very interesting story. As far as this goes, if you are a major automotive company and you have a major infotainment system that's going to be globally pushed around the world, that takes a lot to update, right? They have to go to an auto dealership to get these things updated. You really should do a better job than using publicly available, publicly private key pairs. It's something today when Google is so a part of every human being's life that the first thing they're going to do is check to see if it's searchable and they can find something. So a little bit of programming laziness, but very interesting. And again, I have the blog post in the notes section of the video. It's an interesting read. Students from the University of Buenos Aires proposed a very interesting report at DEF CON this year. They found that the Realtek drivers found in routers and IoT devices all over the world, right? Realtek is one of like 2 or 3 major NIC card manufacturers. And they found out that the firmware older than March 2022 had a serious buffer overflow, a stack-based buffer overflow that allowed an attack RCE capable with a score of 9.8 out of 10. In fact, SANS Dean of Research, Johannes Ulrich, said that this would be able to crash a device, execute arbitrary code, establish backdoors for persistence, reroute network traffic, and intercept network traffic. You think about this is kind of critical, and you know how many devices are out there that will never be updated. The key here is that you need to patch right away. I'll put a link to the vulnerability in the notes section of the video, as well as the slides to the DEF CON presentation. And the big thing is, all your devices out there, your network infrastructure devices, your Internet of Things devices need to be updated just like you do your laptops and other things. 2 of the most severe Apple vulnerabilities were announced this week, and patches came out right away. If you have these devices, you want to update them. That's whether you have Mac OS X, iPad, or iPhone. Basically, an anonymous researcher had notified Apple, and they came out with 2 security reports. I'll put a link to those reports in the notes section of the video. It was around kernel and WebKit issues that would allow the attacker to totally take advantage of that user's device. So again, I'll put a link to that report in the notes section of the video. Get those devices updated. I'm very excited about this next story. Today, which is Tuesday, August 23rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to have a discussion and conversation with the one and only Dr. Chase Cunningham, Dr. Zero Trust, and we're going to be talking about continuous security validation testing, the idea of proactively testing your environment for business and technical risk. Using this, why is it important? How is it impactful? How does it help with Zero Trust? Come join us in that conversation. We'll keep it interactive. We'll be taking questions from the audience. And enjoy. And again, if you miss it live, you can watch the recording as well. So I'll put the link to the broadcast and the recording in the notes section of the video. And that's the newscast for the week. I'm Dave Klein. This is the Cymulate Cybersecurity Newscast. Stay safe out there. See you next time.